Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us for another interview of Magnify Our Impact. And today I'm with a great guy from Ghana, which is a country that sits right on the border of Burkina Faso, where it's very close to my heart in West Africa. And this gentleman I'm fascinated by because he is born and raised in Ghana, and he's one of these young entrepreneurs that's really taken it upon himself to make a massive difference to the children that surrounds him in his local area and in his country, Ghana. And what I want to find out from you, Francis, today is, with your education and your background and your brain and how you communicate, that the world's open to you. There's so much that you could have done, and what you've chosen to do with your own volition and your own energy is to really help other people, which is a real credit to yourself, and to start the We Believe Foundation and to really help these children to get off the streets, if you like, and into education, and to give them an opportunity for a better life is really inspirational. So thank you so much for joining us this morning, Francis. And I really want to find out about your background. So just give us a potted history, a few minutes about where you've come from, where you were born, and also what you're doing today and what really inspired you to start this foundation.
My name is Francis Mbebele, from originally Ghana. It's in West Africa. Most of you might have probably heard about Ghana. It's a beautiful country. Yeah. So coming from Ghana, I was born in the Ashanti region, which is very famous, of course, for the rich culture and then the gold. So I'm from Kumasi in the Ashanti region. Grew up there, schooled in Ghana, lived in Ghana my entire life. When I was a kid, actually, the dream was right from infant. I would be going to school, and then I would see these young kids on the streets, hawking, selling sweets or anything on the streets, instead of being in the classroom, learning, getting the same opportunities I was getting.
Yeah.
So one day it was just like it struck me. I was like, it really hurts to see these kids, instead of being in the classrooms, getting a better life, being on the streets at a young age, hawking, doing whatever they can do to make ends meet. And you look at them, honestly, it's really bad coming from where I come from. So that day I said to myself, one day I'm going to change this. I'm going to make sure I'm going to save the streets, make sure every child in Ghana, not just in Ghana, but beyond Ghana, in Africa, gets education, gets what I'm getting. And while growing up, I figured most of the crime rates and these robbers, and there was a lot of crimes around. And come to think of it, I was like, okay, so probably it's because they don't have any other choice. They've been on the street, so they think that's the only way to make it. Because I don't think if someone has the choice to be a doctor, a lawyer would prefer to be on the streets and then attack someone in the middle of the night with a knife. So I said to myself, yeah, I think it's these kids that grow up to become these kind of people. So I'm going to change it. I'm going to get every child on the street, give them the choice, the right choice to a better life.
And that's really inspirational. I wanted to ask you, was there a moment, Francis, was there a time in your life where, was it one day you were walking down the street and think, this has got to change? Or was it over a number of years that you kept seeing it and then you decided? Was there one moment that really struck you, or were there lots of moments?
Well, it was something I kept saying to myself, one day, this got to change. It's not right. I can't be going to school and then seeing these kids with a bright future, some of them probably better than I am, and they're on the streets hawking in the morning. They sometimes even wake up earlier than I do. They sleep on the street. So it has to change. That was from the beginning. I said to myself every day, one day I'm going to change this.
And what helped you to decide that that time is now?
I took the inspiration from my dad He's one person. He wasn't educated actually, and yeah, he's been working in the mining industry in Ghana since I was born. And he's one person. I remember one time he said to me, even if I have to sell my last cloth or shirt to make sure you get educated, I'm going to do that. It's not about you have to get educated, because where I work, I see people come in with their degrees and everything, and they get better offers and everything, and I'm still here and I should be there. And even though he was doing his best for me, he was still helping other kids to get education. So I was like, okay, then it has to happen. I've got to do something, because he can't save everybody, but with my level of education and everything, I think I can do much better than he did. So
when you look at your friends and your colleagues and the people around you, do a lot of people feel the same in Ghana that you surround yourself with? Or do you feel that there's one or two of you doing this kind of work? Is everybody trying to create that sense of growth in the children? Is there a lot of you wanting to help?
yeah, I think people would love to help. It's about the opportunity. I mean, wanting something, it's like everybody loves to, everybody wants to, everybody wants that to change. I don't think there's someone who wants to see a brother or a sister at the age of 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, up to 15 in the morning with loads on their head, walking the streets of Kumasi, Accra, or any part of the city selling. Nobody wants that, but it all comes down to the how can we do it, because it's not a one-man thing. I mean, they are not also living up to that standard. So they want it, but they don't have the means and then the support to get it done. So it just comes to a wish. It all comes down to a wish, but obviously someone has got to take a step further. So I'm the one taking the step to get it done.
You're special in the way that you think. I mean, there's lots of people doing great things in the world, but with your background and where you are, you've stood up and you said, this has to happen, I'm going to do it now. What do you think, what are the qualities that you have inside yourself that have made you be the one that's chosen to do this? What are your strengths?
My strength, I would say, I'm a very, I don't know how to put it. Is it emotional or someone who is very compassionate? Well, actually, I'll tell you one thing. The name We Believe did not just come as We Believe. It was supposed to be Save the Street. So during the registration, we got a name rejection. So I was like, okay, if I believe I can change the world, then I could bring people together and we could believe, then together we can change the world. Now, the idea behind it wasn't just about education. It was about equality for everyone, women's right, children's right. So the dream was so big that I wanted to get that opportunity to be able to provide such people in such situation, even with lawyers, to handle their cases, get people to fight for the rights of women. There are a lot of women abuse, and it's African. People still believe that men are always gonna be better than women, which is not right. We have to get the same opportunities, the same right. So basically, I love to educate children, but I still want to have people in the team fighting for the rights of women, fighting for justice, fighting for equality. So that's the bigger picture here, and that's what keeps motivating me every day to do what I do. That someday we're going to get there.
You know, it's obvious to me that in my life is who we surround ourselves with inspire us. You know, if we surround ourselves with people that can really lift us up and give us the skills, and we can learn from mentors and coaches and people around us that are really doing big things in the world. Who would you say are the people that have been most inspiring to you on this journey, Francis?
Well, before I met Lenoy, it was my dad, obviously. He's really had a great impact in my life. He's such a great person, and he wouldn't mind giving you his last meal so you would survive, and then he's that kind of a person. So growing up with him, I spent most of my life with him. I lost my mom probably at the age of 2, which was very young. So most of my life was with my dad, and he's really, really impacted my life a lot. I've learned a lot from him. He's so generous, and he likes to help people. He likes to give people opportunities. He likes to do good to people. And growing up with such a person, there's obviously everything is going to come from there. As a kid, we don't just learn, we go by what we see. So most of the things or whatever I am today is probably from him. I copied exactly what he taught me and who he is. So he's really been really, and he loves actually what I'm doing.
Tell me more about your vision for the world and your vision for your work, your charity, the We Believe Foundation. Tell me, what do you see in the future?
Well, the vision is to create a better Africa, a better world. The movement is Ghana for Ghana and Africa for Africa, and create equality. Make sure every single child in Africa gets education. Make sure every single woman in Africa has the same equal opportunity, equal right as a man.
I believe hugely in education. I think obviously education helps us enormously as we grow and develop, and there's so many different types of education, right? There's there's holistic education, which is just, you know, how we learn about life, and then there's education in school. There's so many different ways in which we're educated. There's education around nutrition and well-being and equality, as you've mentioned, and you know, education is learning in a sense, isn't it? It's all around us.
True.
But tell me about building a school, because, you know, I've been fortunate enough to build a school in Burkina Faso, as you know, in the north of Burkina Faso.
Okay. Very close to Ghana.
Yes. And so I'm fascinated by, how did you find out that education is so important, and what kind of education do you want to give these children?
Coming from Africa, I believe in the basics. Basic is the foundation. You can build a house without a foundation. Everything is all about the foundation. And I cannot probably now give them a university education, but it's up to them to dream about university. What I can give them is the basic, the choice. And honestly, it really hurts that in some parts of Ghana, you see people sitting under trees, learning. And when it rains, there's no school because you can sit in the mud and study. No. Even though they have got a chance to study, but you can't be studying under a tree. There's the sun is there, and if it rains, it's not possible. So if these kids had a classroom, honestly, they're going to give their best and find means to advance to whatever destination they want to be in life. So main focus is to eradicate these kind of situations, give them the classrooms, give them the means, the access to information, give them the library, give them the computer labs when they know this is a computer, this is how a computer works. Books, okay, these are the books you have access to read, learn in your free time. You don't have to be on the street hawking. So if I can give them this at this level, I think they're really gonna be super happy, and it's going to really change the whole community and then change the country as a whole. It's you can, sometimes we blame the government for it. I'm not gonna lie, because it's really hurt us. In 21st century, you find kids studying under trees without a classroom, and which, you know, it's really, really heartbreaking. And there are times they don't even, it's not even they sit on chairs and stuff under the tree, which would be okay, they're comfortable. They sit on the floors in the dust.
Yes.
And then there's one person with a board and stuff, so he or she teaches them, and it's really, and they get to know, okay, how are you, the basic stuff, but this wouldn't take them to that limit you want them to get to.
No.
To be able to get into the world, the real world.
No.
If such a person gets a choice to be on the street and sell stuff, I mean, that person is going to choose that over sitting under the sun and then just reading or doing whatever they're doing. But if the person knows, oh, that's the classroom, I can be a lawyer, I want to be a lawyer, I can be a doctor, I can be an engineer, I want to be an architect. Okay, this is the right place to be to do that. They will be there.
Absolutely, and I so agree with you. And in the years that I've been lucky enough to come to Africa and see children sitting in 100-degree heat, and you know, trying to get some shade under a tree to learn something, is, I can't even imagine how hard that is. And what's so inspirational to me is that when I've been in schools in Africa, after the teacher has gone home, the children are still there in the dark with a spotlight or whatever, trying to learn on a blackboard. The inspiration and the drive for knowledge is so powerful for us to see. And so tell me more, because I think I know how much Africa has given to me and how much the people of West Africa have taught me. Tell me more about what you believe that people in Ghana can teach the rest of the world, because you have so much that we don't have. You
Sure.
have great community, and so tell me more about what you can give to the rest of the world from Ghana. What's your gift to us?
Our gift, it's you obviously know about West Africa, you know about Ghana for sure, and they're amazing people. And if they get educated, without education, they are even amazing people. And you can just imagine what they can do with the basic education.
Yes.
They will transform the world. And Ghanaians are so, like, I don't know how to put it, but if you give me the chance today, I'm gonna give the same chance to my brother who doesn't have it.
Yes.
So it's like, if you train one person, you train the whole nation. He's gonna make sure everyone, not just in Ghana, but beyond, everybody they meet, he's gonna share his story, her story. I'm from here, I got the opportunity, I made good use of it, and I'm here today. So I think if I could do it, you could do it too, no matter where you're from.
Yeah.
They would try their best to transform and get the equality. It's not about just education in Ghana. It's people look at Africa and think Africa is just poor and rural, but there are other countries who are just on the same level as Africa, even though they are in Europe, Asia, and America. So they will try their best to put everyone together to make the world a better place, to create equality for everyone.
I couldn't agree more. I completely agree with you that there's a real sense of, I call it spirit, energy. There's an amazing energy in West Africa. Where does that come from? Where does that sense of community come from, do you think, Francis? Because, you know, we in the UK, we are good people. We try to help each other, but we haven't got that bond that you guys have got in your community. So where does that come from? Teach us a little bit about community.
Well, I think in Africa, community is about family. I'll take my family for instance, when you go to my dad's village, okay, now the grandfather, who the community is named after, is responsible for the whole community. And when you begin to plug the dots, you begin to find, okay, they all believe we came from this person, but he had 2 sons or 3 sons or 4 sons. That son obviously got married, created his own family. The other son got married. Then, so it ends up to family.
Yes.
And family, even though it's ancient, it's long. If you have to trace the whole dots and everything, you end up being, we're all one family. And they still believe it's a family. Even though, literally, if you look at it, it will be like, come on, we've got no blood relations, but they still believe that once we're both from this community, we're family. And I would give my all for the community. You would give your all for the community. I don't want to see my brother in hurt, in pain. So I would do whatever it takes.
You know, you believe that your community is family.
I think it's not just about me believing. It's an
but everybody in the village, everybody in the community believes that the community is a family.
If let's say if someone from my village sees me in trouble here with another community people he's gonna get involved. He's gonna really fight to try to get me out. He's not gonna say, "Oh, let me run and then call his brother." Oh, no. I know this guy. He's a brother. I've got to do something.
Yes. And so that's really powerful for me, because even though we care about people, of course, everybody in the world cares about different people. But it's really interesting that, you know, that the community sees each other as family. So tell me about your networking, because I'm in England. Lenoy, who introduced me to you, is a lady who's very, very senior in an investment bank in London. So you are throwing your net around the world to learn and understand who you can connect to internationally.
Yep.
Talk to me about how you're creating your international network, because there's lots of different people listening to this interview, from charities, from social enterprises, from the commercial world. And you're in Ghana and you're running a charity, a foundation where you're helping children in Ghana, and you've decided to connect to all of these different people. Tell me more about that. What's important about connecting to all of us over here?
Well, earlier you said something. You said in our world lately, it's all about who do you know? I mean,
yes,
the people you hang out with, the people you are around, them means who you are. And when you talk about charity and building a foundation, it's very big. It's a huge responsibility. And looking at where I'm not that rich or whatever to be able to build 100 schools across Africa and Ghana and wherever. But I believe there are good people out there who are financially okay, who want to do some good. So if I'm hanging out with people within my circle who we all believe in the same thing, but financially, or we cannot gather the funds and everything, we have to expand, meet new people, get to know people who would believe in us and believe in the good we do. So I try my best to, get to know new people, talk to people, and then let them know what's really happening.
Tell me, Francis, about what you think are the biggest challenges in the planet right now. So at the moment, obviously, we have this coronavirus pandemic,
yep.
and There's all sorts of different stuff that you've seen, like, you know, all over the world. What do you think is the biggest problem that the world faces right now today?
Well, apart from the George Floyd's incident,
Yeah.
which recently happened, which is obviously a very sensitive and very important issue to talk about. Actually, I don't think that's really an issue to talk about because we've been calling out for that for centuries.
Yes.
It's not something new. We've been
No.
we've been so George's murder was just a wake-up call.
Yes.
I'll put it that way. But I think there are other issues to talk about, like everybody talks about the children, education. What about equality for everyone? Are women still treated the same as men? That's a very big issue. People would still think a man has got to be a man. A woman has got to be a woman. And people still believe, even in certain parts of Africa, that a lady shouldn't be in school.
So it's changing those belief systems that's so important.
I think they are very important. If I'm a man, she's a woman, it doesn't change anything. We're both human beings. If I'm getting X opportunity, she's got to get the same X opportunity. Fair treatment, equality is everything. And if we can all get that equal chances, you would see the world transform into a better place.
So the biggest challenge that we face today in the world is equality, is challenges of equality, inequality. Yes.
Inequality, very much.
And with the people around you, how are you growing your team? So are you bringing local people to work with you in the foundation? Are you looking at universities to find different people to help you? Are you going internationally to find more help? How are you building your team, Francis?
Well, I'm very open to everyone who believes that they can, the little efforts or the little impact they do is going to really make a lot of change. So you've been to Africa, you know Africa. And today, if you go to a village where there is no school, and then you talk to the chief, who is the ruler of that place, and then you tell, I want to build a school here. It's like giving someone in the UK 100 million pounds.
Yes.
He's gonna call all the community. He's gonna be like, everyone has got to support this person to do anything to put this school here on this land.
That's very powerful.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter. You just need to get the people in, just be open. It's not about anything, it's about being open to everyone who believes. Let them come. And it's like we're very open to receive them. Yes. I wouldn't mind taking off my shirt and then with an axe digging, as long as I know there's going to be a school there for someone to get educated.
Well, all I can tell you, Francis, is that if there's more people like you in the world will be a better place. That's the one thing I can tell you. It's true. It's very true. And my work is, of course, I'm very much involved in the non-for-profit world. My work, though, is really understanding what makes a great person like you in here and in the heart. That's the real work, because if we can understand what makes you believe like you believe, then we can help other people to believe the same as you. That's the key, is is to really understand. And I think that's the key to life, is to change our belief systems. To understand equality has to start inside. It's not something outside, it's something inside. And you're a real inspiration in that way, because so many people walk down the street and there's a child there who hasn't got any food, who's not learning anything, and they walk straight past. So many people walk straight past, and for you it really hurts, and that's inspirational. That you want to make a difference. Not only do you want to make a difference, you are making that difference.
Sure.
And so I really congratulate you for all of the work that you're doing.
Thank you. And
thank you so much for sparing your valuable time today to talk to us about this. And any way that I can help to promote the We Believe Foundation in Ghana and support your work, you know, it would be a privilege. And all being well, one day I get the opportunity to come and visit you.
Sure.
And to see the work that you're doing.
Well, probably you would be digging a, foundation with an axe. But you've still got the muscles to do that.
Yeah. I look forward to that. Thank you so much for your time. It's been great talking to you.